Welcome to Emancipated Studio. Welcome my uncle, Uncle Stu, the old man on the block.
Salute, 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 salute. What's going on, Wally in the house? Appreciate you coming after hanging out with me last night on one of the longest live streams that I have done in Lord knows how long. But we are going to have a great time tonight. So I just want to give a warm shout out to Wally, to everybody that's hanging out with me in the UK, to everybody hanging out with me in Canada, to my people over there in China, and to my people over there in West Africa, to my brother that's hanging out in Mexico. I tell you, when I say we are international, we are international. And I can't say any more than that, because tonight we're even getting ready to take a long trip to Jamaica, and then we're going to fly all the way to Florida, and we're going to learn all about this couple right here. Because as you know, Valentine's Day, for those that are happy, are every day. But unfortunately, they only get the one day. So today we're going to re-celebrate Valentine's Day all over again. So tonight we're bringing to you, for the first time coming on live on Uncle Stu's platform, Lashus Journey and her husband. So let's say it like this. When her husband was chilling in Jamaica, eating plantanos, going out killing the goat, he said, I can't stand being on this island. I got to go somewhere else. So what did he do? He went, sold everything he had, turned around, got on a plane, and took off to Florida. And then he was a little thirsty, so he walked into the local Walmart, and he saw this woman with this big old smile and just glowing all over the place. And he said, oh my God, I've never seen such beauty as this. And she looked and said, thank you. She said, but I'm just a Walmart girl. I'm so humble. He said, oh my God, you from my island? She said, yes. And from that point on, love, money was in the air. And then they came together and they put a plan together. They put a family together. They put an economic thesis together, to the point where both of them started with their humble beginnings, and now they are on their way beyond the American dream of owning a business. They are beyond their dreams of having everybody financially secured in their family. And they have proven that you can have the American dream in spite of your background. And tonight, we get a chance to really hear their story of not only love, but of business, of commitment, the attitude of when you make the dream work, you make the team work. And when the team work, the dream shall come to fruition. So, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the one and only, the Journey family. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. I know. Go ahead. You can correct my love story. You know, y'all can correct my love story. You know, I had to hook up the love story. You know, I had to hook it up. What's going on, sir?
How you doing?
I am doing well. All right. Correct my love story. How did you two really meet?
Can we start?
Yeah, we can start.
Just to let y'all know, there's children in the back. So every once in a while, she might click off so you're not hearing the kids. So it's not a technical difficulty. Getty Radio in the house. Getty, I just want you to know, bruh, you may have had lashes, but I got lashes and the husband. How you like Uncle Stu now?
Hi, everyone. Sorry about that. My son just walking. I'm sorry about that.
No, you are good.
Okay,
You're
ready?
good. Yes.
Hello. Hi. So I'm Kerisha, aka Lashus Journey, and this is my husband, Kurt.
Hello.
And you said how we met, right?
Yeah. Because, I gave my narrative of the love story, but the reality is, where did y'all come from and how did y'all meet?
Okay, so I'm from Jamaica, moved here back in 2016, been here ever since. I met Kurt in 2015 in Destin, Florida. He was an intern student, right? So he was he was an intern student coming here for work. And we met back in 2015, and here we are.
Hey, Kurt, let me ask you, as an intern student, what brought you to America? What brought you from where you was to being here?
Well, actually came here to work.
Okay.
And, yeah, the intention was to come here, work, be able to pay my school fees, and then go back home, and then just do it again the following year. Because I was in my third year. I was in my third year of university, and yeah, I met Lashus. Yep, and that was so I came here in June, and yeah, June 2015, and I met her that time in that same month, and then we're friends, and up until September 2015, and then I went back home. I didn't want to come back, really and truthfully, but
Okay.
I mean, it's just different here, the culture and everything. It was just kind of different.
Okay,
It was
okay.
different. Yeah, I
Yes.
just needed to
Feel free.
adjust to it, but I mean, it was hard for me to adjust at first, but then we were like best friends, and over that period of time, I eventually got an ultimatum.
Uh-oh.
So I had to choose.
So for the comedians in the back, let me see if I got this right. Lashus, who comes on stage being a little sweet and kind, she gave you the ultimatum, huh?
Yeah, man. So it was either so I chose to come back, and I mean, we connected, so like there was a different kind of bond, a different kind of connection, and it was just hard to say no. It was really hard to say no.
I hear you. You said something, and I like to explore that if you don't mind, and I want you to feel free to speak your experience.
Yeah.
Your experience.
Yes, sir.
You said you noticed a major change in culture from where you was. So let's say, whether it's American culture or Florida, but we'll just put it on America. Speak your mind. What did you see coming from Jamaica, being here, going back to Jamaica, and really saying, if it wasn't for Lashus, I wouldn't really come back to America? That's a narrative I don't hear too often. So do you mind kind of taking a deep dive and going that direction?
Sure. Well, First of all right, going back to Jamaica. All right, let's um back in Jamaica, I mean, I would say I was not poor. My parents were not poor. I'm not from like a really poor family, but
Okay.
we're not rich. We're kind of more like middle class.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, because my dad is a lecturer, my mom is a principal. They're
Hmm.
both in education. And yeah, I was okay. And I myself, I was doing engineering. I was doing electrical engineering, and I was also doing electrical technology, which is teaching.
Okay.
And at the same time, yeah, it life was okay for me,
Right.
so going back to Jamaica, I was fine with it. I wasn't in that position where I was struggling so bad where I would say, I didn't have that urge to leave the country like that, because I mean, as I say, I wasn't in that bad of a position there, as opposed to others. Some people may say otherwise, um, but at the same time, I can't speak for the whole America, because
No,
truthfully,
I'm
I've
I'm
only
just
been
speaking
in
for
Florida
your, yeah,
for,
it's
yeah,
just your experience
but
because you've already destroyed one narrative. And I like that. You destroyed one, which is everybody that leaves a country, leaves because of poverty, because they sick, because of disease, and you already destroyed that. You said, listen, I didn't come from that when I
mhm,
left Jamaica. I was financially fit. My parents are well educated. I'm well educated. So no, my choices wasn't based out of an economic need.
yeah, it wasn't. And here, as far as culture goes, and people can really be mean. I swear, like
Hmm.
people. I mean,
Hmm.
back in Jamaica, I'm used to saying hi to somebody or good morning, you know.
Right.
And this,
And some places here, when I just got here, I was at Walmart working. I mean, you'll see people, you'll say good morning or hi. They'll look at you like, why are you talking to me? Or who are you talking to? Or they look at you like you're crazy. You
Right.
know,
Right. Right. Right.
I'm like,
Right.
nah. So yo, these people are different,
Right.
man.
Did you
You know?
with that, was it I don't like going down racial roads. Did you find it more racially, or was it just a whole everybody, like, when you really get into just American, or we'll say Florida, because you said you didn't want to really break it down nationally. Just Florida, just that area of
Yeah,
Florida. Would you
yeah,
say
just
it was
where
that?
I'm at.
Okay.
I wouldn't necessarily say racially, because it was I guess it's just a general thing, because it's not just, it's just people in general, to be
Right,
honest with you.
right,
You know,
right.
I don't know if it's just if they're just having a bad day all the time, or if, for some reason, if for some reason, I mean, because I mean, I don't. It's not necessarily people I know.
Okay.
It's just, just walking by, you see somebody, and you're walking by, and you're like hi or good morning. Just manners, but
Right,
yeah, it's a different
right.
culture. Yeah.
the
Yeah,
culture is
culture.
different. You know,
Would you say things has changed now since you've been here?
Well, truthfully, I've just learned to deal with it. It is
Okay.
what it is. If you say good morning, that's fine. If you don't say good morning, or if you don't want to say hi, that's fine with me. You
Right.
know, I just learned to deal with it now. You know,
Do you still have the desire to go back to Jamaica?
um, to some extent, no.
Okay.
And I mean, because right now I have a whole family here, a wife and kids and
Right,
everything.
right.
So it's like I would visit, yes, and I haven't visited there since I left in 2015. But I would visit, yes,
Right.
but not necessarily move back to Jamaica.
Okay. That's a great answer. That's awesome. Um, Lashus, you gave the ultimatum now. Hold up. We didn't know you had it in you. You know, we always see the little quiet Lashus. Where did the ultimatum come from? What, you know, but I love it. What was the ultimatum, if you don't mind talking about that?
Sure. So he was in his third year of university, and he asked me, can you wait on me 2 years? Just till I finish college, and I'll move back there to be with you guys. So my husband, he's much younger than me. I'm older. So I said to him, I'm not gonna be able to wait. Sorry, I can't wait on you. If you want to be with me, you come back. If not, you go finish college, and I'll see you on the I'll see you. But that was it. I didn't have much time. I'm like, I'm older. You might, you. So that was it. There wasn't nothing to.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Zan the man. Zan, I sent you an email, sir. I don't know if you got it. Just let you know. I sent you an email. Well, that is awesome. Now, I do know that y'all are now into real estate.
Yes, we are.
As your business. How did you get into real estate, and what motivated you to go into real estate? Lashus.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, Kareem. You know the crew is here. But yes, how did you get into
real estate?
Yeah.
So right before I met my husband, or when I met Kurt when he was here on intern, I was looking at buying a house because early on before that I was deep in debt back then. Okay. Early on before him, I racked up a bunch of credit cards. I had a car payment, so I was like $20,000 in debt. So at church, I go to church. So at church, they announced that they were gonna do this Dave Ramsey financial piece, PFU. So it was $100 to do the course, and so I paid it, and I did the Dave Ramsey, and I started learning about investments and stuff like that, and how to get out of debt. So I did the debt snowball. So I was trying to get out of debt, working 2-3 jobs, and just trying to get out of debt. So when I met Kurt, I had debt. He was a student, and I was looking to buy a property. That was my first. So I did buy a property that summer when I met him. And that was our primary resident. He went home when I bought the property. So he wasn't even here when I bought it. And then when he came back, we rent out a room in that house. We lived together, and rent out a room, and we started there. So he came back, and we were here. And in 2018, we got married. In 2016, we got married. And 2017, 2018, we decided to buy a second property. So we bought a property together in 2018, and we house hack. I don't know if you know the term house hack, where you buy the property and you rent it by the rooms.
Okay. In Virginia, it's called something else, but I like that. Go ahead. Keep talking about it. You bought a house, and then you took that house, but you rented out rooms. You didn't rent out the whole house.
No, we just rented by the rooms.
Okay.
So they share space. So that was our first property together. Then 2019, we bought that was the third. We buy another house, and we do the same thing. We just rinse and repeat. We rent it by the room. It's great cash flow. It works for us. So we keep doing the same thing over and over. So in 2020, we buy more property. So, we decided we're gonna this work for us, and where we at down here in Destin, a lot of foreigner come here, and they don't mind sharing space. So we like, okay. So we just start doing that, rinse and repeat. We just continue acquiring rental property. I work Walmart. We were both working at Walmart for I've been working at Walmart for 15 years. So when Kurt came, we started working out. He started working at Walmart as well. He went to school. He started where he start University Trade School. So he went to school, did electrical, and that's it. So we're on our sixth property right now, and that's that.
Wow, let me give you a clap for that. That is awesome. So let me summarize, and then you let me know if I got it right. You two got married. Y'all work at Walmart, which is not what they would say is not one of the most highest paying jobs. It's not one of the most fabulous jobs that you can have. Now, I worked at Walmart, so there's nothing wrong, nothing to shame to get a Walmart job. But y'all got a Walmart job. You invested $100 into yourself. Money you couldn't afford because you said, hey, I got over $20,000 in debt. I'm going to take this $100 and I'm going to invest it in knowledge. I'm going to really get a hone-in mindset of money. You invested that. You applied what you learned, and your results was you was able to get out of debt. And by getting out of debt, it helped you to buy your first property on your own without your husband. And then you turned around, understanding money, understanding how to finance, understanding now having the experience of buying your first home. You went and secured another property. And as opposed to, let's say, renting out that whole property, you found a better cash flow by renting out rooms. And because that was successful, you just kept doing your success story, your success principle.
Yeah.
Now, somebody, even on the after replay, will say, there's something missing. Y'all had to have had a big pot of money. Something is missing. Y'all didn't pay taxes. Something happened other than the story you just told. Is there anything missing that you didn't tell?
Yes, there's one part missing, not much, but working at Walmart, they you can invest in your profit sharing 401k. They match your 401k 6%. So I was always contributing to my 401k. I didn't know what it was at the time, but it was a retired military guy. When I started working at Walmart, he said, young lady, put money in your 401k and in your stock, because your company, the company match stock and 401k. So I start putting money from my paycheck to my 401k. I have them deducted. So I didn't know what it was at the time, but he told me that, and I start putting money into my 401k, not knowing it was going to help me further down the road before retirement. So with most of the properties that we bought, that's how we fund them. I borrow against my 401k. And because I borrow against my 401k, we don't pay tax on the 401k because you borrow against it. You don't pull it out. That makes sense?
Yeah, and if it don't, the Intentional Millionaire is in the chat, and I'm quite sure he'll come up and explain more about 401ks, how they operate. I know he has it on his channel. So I want to go back to the social welcome part. Welcome, Talk Tori with Talk with Tori, and Luke Casey is in the house. I want to go back to the social part. I want to go back to you, your husband, putting a plan together. You said you was older. We got that part, and that's kind of normal. There are women out older than men and vice versa. But the question is, how'd you overcome mentally where you was versus where he was?
I overcome came it. It wasn't hard because it wasn't hard. Working at my job was we were working at Walmart. So a lot of people would kind of make fun of it or something like that. I have people come up to me like coworker, they'll be like, is that your son? Stuff like that. You know?
Right.
And
But
yeah. And I have people at my job that said to me before, my coworker, she was like, "How long you two have to stay married?" I'm like, "What?" She like thought it was like our arranged marriage.
wow.
It was, yeah. So we've been through yeah. So, but other than that, we just get together and we just start building. We just block the outside world out. So
How did you do, when you say you blocked the outside world out, my next question would be, how are you handling
uh-huh.
some of the social, whether I use the word ignorances,
Mm-hmm.
prejudices, all these different isms that y'all face? Because let's, just like with your husband, let's deal with the isms.
Uh-huh.
Most people think that everybody that comes from Jamaica is dirt poor. Your husband just said, I'm not poor.
Yeah, he wasn't. I was.
I don't know now. I'm going to challenge that. But everybody will say, well, you're poor coming out of Jamaica. You gotta have all this money. You gotta have all of this. You gotta have these great jobs. But y'all making it on working at Walmart.
We did.
How are you able to do that? And I'm looking more at your mentality, your mindset. What does it take to be successful? When did that light bulb click for you that I can't live in debt and in poverty at that time anymore? What clicked for you?
For me, it was always my family, because I always know my family is my why. My kids, I have poor family back home, because I said I grew up in poverty. I had a
Okay.
different life back home than Kurt. So me coming to America was my dream. I came here in
Okay.
2006. That was a dream come true. As a kid, my dream was to come to the United States.
Okay.
That was my dream.
And for you, what did America represent when you say, because I've traveled the world, so hearing what you're saying, is not crazy for me. But for people that really may not understand what America looks like outside of America, what did America's image look like to you?
Okay, so for me, everybody that leave my community and come back to Jamaica, they'll look better. They have more stuff. It's just like, everything. So for me, America was always, the way they come back, they have a car. Never have a car. They come back, they drive all the flashy cars, they have house and stuff like that. So I always know, for me, America is the way out. Ever since I was like probably 6, 7, 8, I have an aunt over here. So she was here, and she would come back home and visit. And I remember one time her husband passed away, and she came, and I said to her, "Can you help me to come to the States?" And she said, "Okay, just find a program and I'll pay for you to come there." So actually, I came here to work back in 2006, but 2006, yeah, I came here to work. So when I came here to work, I knew I wasn't going to go back home. It wasn't like Kurt that, no, he come to go to school and he's going to go back home. I know whenever I get this visa, I'm not coming back. Only thing I'm coming back for is for my kids and for my mom. So leaving my country, I was like, because there was days when I didn't have food to eat down there, couldn't go to school. It's like, and everybody have a different life and a different view on Jamaica. I love Jamaica, it's my country, but
Right.
I face too much poverty there. So, I'm like, I'm done. So I said, once I get this visa, I'm out. I had 2 kids at the time, because I have 2 older sons. My son is in the chat.
Oh,
Hello,
he
son.
is.
Yeah, my 23-year-old YMP.
YMP. All right, let me see if I can find him.
Hey, son. So I had a 7-year-old when I left Jamaica, and a 3-year-old son. And I left them the day I was leaving. I kissed them goodbye, because I know, I said, I don't know when I'm going to see you guys again, but I'm doing it for you guys. So I knew I wasn't coming back. So I left my kids there with their dads. They were in Jamaica. So it was just me that came here. So my job, my focus was always to get my kids here, get my mom here, get them out of poverty, because I tell you I grew up really poor. So I'm trying to get them out. So they were my why coming to America, for a better life. So being here, I was working two jobs and all that, and I just run up those credit card. I didn't know nothing about credit card and all that, but I was always taking care of back home on top of it. You see what I'm saying?
I
Always
do.
sending money, always taking care of back home. So I filed for my kids. I moved my two sons here. I moved my mom here, back in the process. And so after I paid those credit card off, and I have my kids here, that was it. Because I did everything I actually set out to do. Because my goal was to come here, make a better life for them, take them out of Jamaica, which I did that. So, it's God is good. That's all I can say.
I'm going to tell you something because I want you to, I do know that, and I'm very aware of certain prejudices that happen, but so that you understand, both you and your story is not unique, even within American complexity. So let me explain. I come from a mother and father who migrated from the South up to the North. There's a history. It's called the Great Migration. That's when a lot of African Americans left a lot of the southern states and they migrated to the North for the same reason you left Jamaica to come to America. They left the South. It was economics. It was the social. They went up North. They did what they had to do. They worked together as a family, built jobs, everything, and created an environment for people like myself, the Generation X's. Most of us that say we from New York and Chicago and DC, a lot of our roots comes from the South. So when we got our sick and tired of being sick and tired moment, it wasn't a rebellion against our parents. It was a rebellion against the economics. We recognized, we didn't blame them, we didn't argue with them. We recognized that we was no longer living the same way our parents was living.
Yeah.
The real estate in New York just got so overwhelming that what we was paying for to live in a one bedroom, we was finding our cousins and our uncles and our aunts was in the South paying half of what we was paying in New York and was living better. So a lot of us did what? Took our knowledge and our skills and our understanding and we moved to the South, and I call it the Great Remigration. So we have the same narrative. So we're not all, it's not just you. We did it right here in America. And when we came to the South, most of the time we settled either where our families was from or somewhere close. So like when I left New York, I ended up moving to North Carolina. And I lived in North Carolina 17, 18 years and raised my kids there. I made jokes and all this other stuff with Getty and everybody from North Carolina, but it was a whole lot cheaper than living in New York. And a lot of us is not trying to go back to New York. We may represent and say, New York proud, New York this, New York that, but we ain't going back. Nobody wants to live in that economic system that we, that we left. So, that's why I say I want you to be free to speak, because I'm hoping somebody hears your story and they get that sick and tired moment. I am reading a book. It's called Know Your Reason Why. Lucchese said it right. If you know your why, you'll find your how.
Exactly.
But if you don't know why, you'll be lost in your how. 100% agree. If you don't know why you get up every single morning, whether it's to get up to do a video or get up to go to Walmart, to get up to, I'm going to take this $100 and I'm going to invest it in myself because I don't want to live like this no more. I know why I'm doing what I'm doing. Why do you do what you do when you do it? So I love that. And that part needs to be heard. Your son is in the chat. You said, I have 2 children back home in Jamaica. So you was a single mom.
Yes. Uh-huh.
There's a stigma, theoretically on YouTube, the stigma about single mothers and dating single mothers. And I ain't gonna
Mhm.
lie, even I struggle at one time, like, well, if I date again, do I date a woman with kids and da 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 da? There's a whole mantra of that. But how do you distinguish? How would you tell your sons about dating single mothers, especially for a lot of some of the things you seeing right now?
Uh-huh. I think I'm not against it one bit
Mm-hmm.
because Kurt didn't have kids before. He take me up with 3 kids. I had 3 kids
Wow.
when I met Kurt. Yes. So as long as it's a nice person and you two love each other and work together, that's it. There's nothing I don't think there's nothing wrong with dating single mother. And that's why a lot of time I go go through channel that
Right.
I curse on single mom. Yeah. I give him my feelings a lot. So
But let's go into your field. What separate is Kurt is Kurt right there? I know he's running back and forth with the kids.
yeah, I can get him.
Yeah, because the
Because
question is
he
going
was
to be,
looking
I'm
at
gonna
the
ask
baby.
you, and then when he got time to come back, my
Yeah.
question is, what do you think it is about you as an
Uh-huh.
individual that separates you
Uh-huh.
from other single mothers? Because there always has to be a distinction that
Uh-huh.
says she's different than the rest. And hopefully through you, maybe there is a single mother listening
Mm-hmm.
and maybe don't have the hope. Maybe they done ran out of hope, but
Mm-hmm.
there's something about you that separated you from other single mothers. What do you
And
think
I
that
think we're
was?
not single by choice. Some stuff just don't work out and you just move on. Because with
Mhm.
me and my situation, I just decided I wasn't gonna settle for less, stuff don't work out and I move on with in the past. So it's yeah, we can go deeper. But I was in relationship and it just wasn't working out, and I decide I'm gonna take my kids and I'm gonna move on my own because I'm always a strong person.
Mhm.
It's not right. I'm gonna leave. So it was things just wasn't working out, and I took the kids, packed the kids up, and I moved away from the situation that I was in
Okay.
because I didn't feel like it was healthy for me and my kids.
Okay.
So I could have stayed, but I chose to leave to live a
Okay.
better life for me and my
And if you
kids.
don't want to talk about what the unhealthy situation is,
Yeah, I
you
can
don't
go in
have.
there. I can go deep
Okay.
if you have time. I don't mind.
Sure. Listen, I got time. Look, Wally had me up for 6 hours last night dealing on the live stream. I don't think a 15, 20-minute extra is going to kill me at all.
I know. I just like with my son's dad. He was abusive, and I get out of that situation. I had to get
Mhm.
out because he was abusive. So I walk away with my kids, and it just didn't work out, and I
Okay.
leave because I decided I wasn't gonna raise my kids like that.
Right.
And it's not because I was a bad person, because I know a lot of time they paint single mom to out to be a bad person, but a lot of time you can't stay because of the kids. Because sometimes you in a situation you said, okay, I know I have a lot of friends that stay in situation because of their kids. They said I can't leave because I'm gonna have to take care of these kids by myself. But with me, I always know, I'm strong. I can work 2, 3 jobs. It's okay. We'll be all right. You know,
Mhm.
and a lot of time my kids would be home and I'll be at work, because I used to work overnights as well,
Mhm.
just to, make ends meet, work overnights, and then I work in the day as well.
Right.
and the kids will be raising themselves.
Right,
So
right,
it's,
right.
as a single mom,
Right.
it's, we just get out of certain situation.
Yeah, we here, we call it latchkey. I mean, when my parents was at work, I was the only child for over 16 years. My parents at work, I was home alone. I mean, but I had fun. It didn't mess me up, at least to my knowledge. But being that you did come out that situation, did you ever do, like, how did you take care of, like, self-care to know that, hey, I'm a good woman, I'm a beautiful person, but I know that I don't want to put that on you.
That's
Did you have some mental health issues? Did you have some things that you had to deal with for your own, push up and your own identity and your own, hey, I need to get me together, and I'm not going to blame every man for one man's issue.
And with that, I just I don't know, I was just always this strong person, I was just always this strong-minded person. I used to go to church. I grew up in the church.
Okay.
So that I would say that's my that's where I turned to for, because I was always going to church every Sunday with the kids, no matter how much I work and stuff like that. So that keeps me, you see what I'm saying? It keeps me in line. But yeah.
What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna ask this last question, then I'm gonna see if anybody want to come up and talk to you or question you or whatever the case may be. I want everybody to know Kurt is not camera shy. He's taking care of the kids.
Yes.
Well,
We have
I
a
don't want
6-month-old
everybody to think that
baby.
he just took off. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a 6-month-old baby and we have a 4-year-old, and he's
I
feeding the
tell you.
baby.
And if your son can definitely hear me, he is definitely welcome up here as the first person to get on the panel with his mom. If you had to give women advice, family advice, or if you was even just giving me advice, what would be that advice to say? This is what success means, and this is what you're going to have to do to be mentally successful.
Let's see. And we have to start with our mindset. As I said, we have to know our why we're doing it. Because if you don't know your why, you start falling apart. So we have to find out, what's your why? Why am I doing this? It's like with me, my why was always my family, as I tell you. So, I was always thinking that in the back of my head, I can't fail. Because if I fail, a bunch of people depending on me. I have a lot of people depending on me. So we have to start with the mindset. Know your why. And if I had to give you advice, I would say just don't give up. Just work hard, stay focused. And sometimes we fall off track, but you just have to just get back on track. No matter what, don't give up. And
I think you said a mouthful. I really do. You drop you drop, in the words of intention, you drop so many jewels that it was awesome.
Welcome
It was
to
awesome.
the Emancipated Studio, where you are welcome to engage with guests and the panel. Please stay on topic and be respectful to our guests and panel. Be sure to have your camera on while in the back of the studio so that you may be verified by Uncle Stu, and then you may turn your camera off while participating on the panel. You have given up all rights to any footage and clips which can be used by Uncle Stu and his staff. Now please hit the link again and welcome to Uncle Stu's Emancipated Studio.
Ace Butterfly, which he writes, out of wedlock births in Jamaica are higher than in the U.S. Ace Butterfly, all due respect, I need to understand the point. Because that would be kind of, I don't know the point. So just write in the chat for me. Tell me what point you was trying to make. That way I can understand where you are and what you're, so she can kind of respond to it in a proper manner. And if anybody want to come up, hit the link and y'all are welcome to come up. When it comes to Jamaica, because I know two different sides of Jamaica. You have everybody don't know, America kind of got their hands in part of Jamaica. Then you have the government of Jamaica. And I studied more of the politics of Jamaica almost 30 years ago. We going all the way back. Oh, I came in late. You said comments or questions. Okay, I got you, Ace. I understand. I got you. That comment came in late. He said it was late. Good afternoon, Lisa D. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you. My question would be, when you was coming up in Jamaica, was they still having that, what I call the political war, where you had the two factions and they still was in violent fashions? A lot of people don't know about the violence that's in Jamaica. Is it still kind of that way today?
Are you talking about politics?
Yeah, just the generalization. Because, see, a lot of people don't know a lot about Jamaica as an island and almost why is the way it is. They say, oh, yeah, we celebrate the freedom, but, they don't understand the real Jamaica during the Bob Marley days and the violence and everything. Kareem touched on it before. Kareem has touched on it. Lord Candid Ann has touched on it. Do you know about it? And did it affect you growing up?
Just a little. It's a lot of politics there. Just like anywhere else, two sides against each other. So it has getting better over the years. I see where it gets a little bit better, but not much.
Right.
But I never really into politics. I was just
no, that's fine. I just think it's a very it's a not spoken on your day to day.
Okay, what you have to say about that, Kurt? Anything to say? Yeah, you can hear you.
Well, I would say to some extent, because I agreeing with Kerisha that it got better.
Can you hear?
At some point, but then it got worse because actually where I'm from, you have gangs affiliated with political parties, and then along with all of that, where I lived, I was like right where they would call it a borderline. So when they're fighting, it's like, I'm right in the middle of it.
Right. And Kurt, for people that really don't understand that, they really okay, thank you. The violence is not the same. The most violent election was 1980s. See, Kurt, Kareem, we really got to talk about the 1980s. I don't think a lot of people really understand the 80s. One day we got to get together and really have that discussion, because stuff was going on in America and stuff was going on in Jamaica. That's how I learned a lot about Jamaica, because of the 1980s and what was going on. So, yeah, Jamaica's a little bit deep for me when it comes to really understanding Jamaica. I really do. I really, really do understand Jamaica.
Oh, that's
Um,
good. And I see Snuggle says she might be PNP. Yes, my family is all PNP.
okay,
Yeah,
educate me. What's
KLP and
PNP?
JLP, two different. Yeah, People's National Party. My family was PNP. Yes, Snuggles.
Okay, okay, okay.
She sound like she
Um,
PNP.
uh, Kurt. With that being said, because Kareem, said the '80s was the hardest. Would you say that because I think just to touch on politics, I think people don't really understand. This is where I'm gonna brag on America. They really don't understand how they got it in America, versus other places where democracy don't really rule. It's almost it's a lot of violence. Kareem says yes. The U.S. infiltrated the government and was back in the JLP. Yes, 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 yes,
Yeah, true. Sending a lot of guns and all that. Yeah,
yes,
JLP.
But
yes.
still up to now, because even I think up to about 2010. I think up to about 2010, it used to be really bad because in 2010 they actually extradited one of the real big top guys out there to the US because of all of that stuff. Because he had like it was huge because they had drugs, guns, everything coming in. Because it's like one side of that, like they had a wharf where the they call that now a shipment.
The guns and stuff.
Yeah, they had this whole section of the yard or the we call that the wharf just for themselves. It's just they control that side,
Like
that
territory.
whole entire section. So whatever comes in there, they know and they control that. Nobody else, unless you're working along with them, you can't go over there. But I mean, things might be different now, being that he was extradited and all of that. But
Right. Well, I'm gonna tell you because I got three different things, and I love it. Lucchese. Now I'm gonna tell you, I know about this too. This Nicaragua and stuff. That was huge dealing in the '80s. So, it looked like we're gonna have a 1980s party to really bring out some real history. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
yeah,
And
it
then
was
your
worth it.
homegirl says, dudes was extracted. He was being protected by the JLP party. Rain, you're gonna need to come off of one of your private
Yeah,
islands and come fly
yeah,
into
that's
the
exactly
hang
who I'm
out.
talking about, man.
And Snuggles says the U.S. is good for right this Syrian country and making their people come to where the money is that they took is what makes the U.S. so powerful. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
that's deep,
True.
but it's in there. It's in there. It's in there. Let me ask you something, Curry. I'm gonna go back to an earlier question.
Uh-huh.
A lot of times online, you know, and even offline, they talk about dating a woman with kids,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just gonna go in, and then Lashus having three, not one, but three. What made you see her as different? Here you are, a man, you're working, you're going to college, but she became the cream of the crop in spite of her children. What was it about her that maybe have separated her from other women who was in her position? And when I say her position, I'm talking about the single motherhood. I'm not talking about how she became a single mother, just the single motherhood. What made her distinct?
Um, hmm. Well, I mean, to be honest with you, she's a very selfless person. Like she will give her all. I mean, I give her that. She never hold back anything. The kids are always first, and she know how to, like, she know how to call that, no, equal out stuff. Like, she know how to put them in, where you stand, different quantities. Everybody feels that love. It's not too much here, too much there, and somebody not getting any attention or any love. It's she just know how to balance it out. And I mean, that's just what I've experienced. I mean, and honestly, well, she's the first and only single mom I've ever been with. So I mean, that's just based on my experience.
Did I want to know about everybody in the chat? Please hit the one. The moment he said what he said, did everybody notice that Lashus just got light? It was like a bright light just showed up. She's smiling. You can't tell her nothing. I tell you. Welcome. Yes. She just lit up. I guess I could close the stream on that one. I tell you, you don't need no lights. Just let them stand there and serenade you. Look, even Lucchese saw it. Everybody saw you just get bright up. I tell you, ain't nothing wrong with that. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Look, everybody's seeing it. They just saw you light up. Go ahead. Do you need me to shut your camera off so you can get the tears out?
No, you're fine.
I love it. Kurt, let me ask you this, and because I know you got to run to deal with the kids. I've dropped the stream if anybody want to come up. But my question to you, Kurt, what would you say to motivate men? Motivate brothers to I don't know how old you are, but if you had to right now say, okay, I want to motivate all those who are listening to me, they're working at a job like you, Walmart. A lot of people may look down on people who work at Walmart, but you get to laugh every day you at Walmart when somebody say, hey, go get that crate. And you sit up there talking about, oh, let me just count my money from all this real estate. They have no clue who they are talking to. So let these young brothers talk to them, talk to the young, talk to the old, talk to the men right now who might be working at a Walmart or working at a McDonald's. Oh, you're right, working at a 9 to 5.
I would say choose your company wisely. And the reason I say that is because I didn't come here with a mindset of going into real estate. I didn't understand it. I didn't know anything about it, and the reason I say choose your company wisely, the more you hang out with people who know about a certain thing or are business minded, if you choose to, and if you are willing to learn, then more than likely you'll be just as successful as they are. And the reason I say this is because Kerisha and I have a lot of friends who are successful business minded people. Talking to them, they may not explain everything to you step by step, but you have that yearn to kind of like, you just want to learn it too, and you want to be as successful as them, and they encourage you to do the same, and sometimes all you need is just a little push, to get you going. And that's where we are right now. We're still learning, and at the same time, I would say we have actually we have actually exceeded our expectation, because our goals were, it was not that high, but it was, I really didn't expect to reach 6 houses that quick. But hey, I'm not complaining. We did what we can, and we stayed focused. And as I say, choose your company wisely, because if you hang around with losers, then you're probably gonna end up being a loser. If you hang out with people who are, business minded, or people who want to be successful, then more than likely you will end up being successful too.
Let
You
me
know?
ask you this: when you talk about being business minded and hanging out with successful people, if the environment somebody is in,
Mm-hmm.
and that can be, when I say environment, that could be mother and father environment,
Yeah.
that could be online environment, that can be work environment, because we can look at a lot of different facets of environment.
Environment. Yeah.
How does a person move out when they're surrounded? Say they're surrounded by poverty-minded people, or they're surrounded just in a city or in a town that's
Mm-hmm.
poverty, or they never really saw your venture of success. What are some avenues that you could say, hey, in order to see success, read, books or online, what, because their image of what success is
Mm-hmm.
or what they're seeing
Mm-hmm.
is not what you know to be success. And I say that because, again, somebody come into Walmart, all they see is two Walmart employees. They sitting around, they got their bachelors, but y'all got more wealth than they do. And do you understand what I'm saying? So
Yep.
really to pull that mindset, because my platform is to help me help you help you. In other words, if I know what you need,
Mhm.
I can find what to get to give you what you need. Pull that in for me as far as, hey, this is what you need to do.
Let me go.
Put a plan of action. What would be that action that you would say?
Yeah, with me, I would say books. Books is very important.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us, our family are not financial literate, but in books, you can teach yourself so much. Self education has taught me so much. Everything that we know, it's just from reading books, follow successful people, podcasts. You know, the Bigger Pocket podcast, they like a real estate. I would follow them every day. Grant Cardone, I watch him religiously.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
follow people that's doing it. Follow successful people online. You can do course. I didn't do no real estate course. We didn't do no real estate course, but you can
Mm-hmm.
do course. You can read books, podcasts, money vlog, blog, stuff like that. It's so much. The information is out here, and it's just for us to search for it or look in the right place. I always say that it's there in books. It's here online on YouTube, but it's just and it come back down to your mindset.
Your interest.
Yeah, and your interest, what you want. They always say that it's not what you make, it's what you keep. Because
Mm-hmm.
every year we never make more than $60,000 combine our income together every year, and we can do it. So people that making six figure can. I think last year was the only year we go over six figure with all our property and everything. We were always making like 50 something thousand a year, not much, but because we were saving and we were intentional.
Mm-hmm.
We live a frugal life. And that's why I said, get to success, you have to live a frugal life. You have to cut back on stuff. We weren't eating out every day. We don't eat
Right.
out, we cook every day, because
Right.
we have total of 5 kids. So
Right.
we
Right.
cook. If we go, that's $100 a pop, with
Right.
5 kids and 7 of us. Yeah, so we would delay vacation. We just start going on vacation when last year we decide, okay, let's get the annual pass for all the attraction, those park down in Orlando and stuff like that. We delayed all that
Yeah. I
just
love.
to get to where we at. So you have to live a frugal life.
Snuggles said, you need to bring these two on more often because they told me what immigrants go through. Immigrants don't come rich. They make themselves rich. A lot of times, no one talks about that. I'm gonna tell you, Snuggles.
Thank you.
Over here, there's a lot of immigrants that has enjoyed my panel. Um, Kareem is my scooper. You got Candid Ann, you have Lashus Journey. Yes, I have those conversations. You see Tack Williams in here, and he'll tell you we come from the city of immigrants. I mean, so it's an everyday thing to see it, to hear it, to know it. So yes, I will do that, Snuggles. I will surely do that. Well, Luscious, I don't want to hold you up from your family. This has been an awesome. You've dropped so much jewels. You've just to go over it. Here you was a single mother, 3 kids. You came out of a domestic violence situation, but you knew your reason why. For you, your reason why coming to America was, I want to be successful. I don't want to live the way I'm living. I got these kids. I want to do better. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. The United Nations of YouTube. I want to do better. I want to live better. And so that was your reason why. Kurt's reason why is totally different than your why.
It is.
Kurt was, hey, I want an education. I want to be like my mother, my father, because they were both successful. They was not poor. His reason why was to get an education. And that was his reason why. In the midst of your why and his why, y'all brought y'all whys together.
So true. And they didn't, and before you go any further too, a lot of experience, like, they didn't understand why would he just quit school and take off and he had a good life, so we get a lot of pushback from family as well. We had to go through that as well, because he has to put his foot down, and they didn't talk to him for a while. Almost a year he didn't talk to his mom because they like, did you went to America to take drugs?
No.
Why would you leave school and just run off with somebody with 3 kids? So we get a lot of pushback. So we were up against a lot coming out the gate in 2015, 2016. We pray together. We go to church every Saturday. We'll go to church. And it makes us, we came out stronger than anything. And today, we are all good.
Yeah. Kurt, let me talk to you, Kurt. I'm gonna talk to you man to man. I don't see Luscious right now. I feel your pain. Maybe I need to do a talk on this. When mothers don't let their sons go. I feel your pain. I know what that feels like to be married, to want to take care of your wife, want to take care of kids, and you have to battle between 2 different loves.
Yep.
That's a conversation that is deeper and probably more painful than a lot of people would even want to know. To be a son and you have to divide your 2 loves. You love your mother one way, but you love your wife another way.
Yep.
And it's not that mommy is trying to make you her husband. We're gonna knock that narrative out too. It's just the mother's love. My mother got a husband. It's my dad. You understand? But it's the protective nature that you understand. It's like mom, the protector of her son, not somebody trying to make you into a husband, a protector.
Yep.
And it's like, mom, but I love this woman. I love who she is. So I love, and we got to painfully walk through that binary love.
Yep.
So I want you to understand you're not alone. Now it's not happening now. You know, I'm not in that circle now, but I used to be, and I understand it. So I need you to know you're not alone. There's a lot of men who has been through or going through what you dealing with.
Yes, sir.
So I just want you to know, if you've ever felt isolated, if you ever felt alone, if you ever felt, well, this must be I must be the only one with this story. I'm here to tell you you're not. And I would one day would love for you to come back, just you. Let us take care of the kids. and us really share that moment of the pain of having to love two women at the same time.
Yes.
You know, so that's just another topic that needs to be explored. I think mothers need to really hear when, hey, you got to go from being overly protective to just being back up and just be supportive. I don't believe a lot of women are trying to make a man to a husband. I know that's a narrative. Some mothers are just protective. Kareem says, I believe that Kurt and his mom have reconciled now. No, Kareem, I'm not talking about the reconciliation. I want to help somebody not even go through it. I don't think a lot of people understand the pain of being a son and having a battle between two different women. It's something totally different. And it usually happens with sons more than with daughters. Snuggles, I'm not asking that because that has absolutely nothing to do with the topic at hand. The question Snuggles tried to ask is, are Jamaican men polygamous? I ain't going through all that. We ain't talking about that subject, and so there's no need to explain it. So, Kurt, yeah, we'll definitely deal with that subject. I think it's a subject that needs to be talked about, need to be explored, and hopefully we'll get, more community participation.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody tonight for coming out and being able to share such knowledge, such wisdom, such blessings. As we said earlier, know your reason why. Why do you get up? Why do you want to start a business? Why do you want to be financially successful? Why do you want that college degree? Why do you want that husband? Why do you want that wife? Why do you want that marriage? etc., etc. Know your reason why. Be on the lookout for that video because I actually am going to talk about know your reason why. We all need to know why we do what we do when we do it. So with that being said, I want to thank you and your husband and the kids and your son for all participating here tonight.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
All right. And like I would tell anybody, may the peace and the blessing of God be upon each and every single one of you. Hit that like on the way out. Hit that share on the way out. And if you haven't subscribed to Uncle Stu, subscribe. Lashus, love you.
Love
Kurt,
you too. Thank you.
love you.
Bye. Thank you all.
Bye.